Well, good morning, everybody. This is Jasmine Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. So, tomorrow is a eclipse. Um, went to Walmart to try to see if I could get the eclipse sunglasses. I couldn't get them, which I have planned better for that. At the same time, I have to work tomorrow. It's my last day at my current job. And then I start the next day at the new job, and I'm kind of excited, honestly, about the new job because financially it's an improvement of what I have. Like, it's a way better improvement than what I have. Honestly, I'm should balance a little bit how we pay for things and a little bit easier. Still going to be a I'm not going to say that it's going to be difficult, but it will be a lot of adjustments, and it's the first time that I get a job that is that way. If I had more time to prepare, that would be great, but at the same time, it's just I have to make do with what I got, and we'll see what's happened. But I'm looking forward to it, in all honesty. Still finishing school this semester, taking my electricity class, planning on taking a computer class next semester. And it's going to be online, so it's not going to be conflict with this job. So, and then I will have to figure out what I'm going to do eventually, honestly, because I think I may have to get some certifications to be able to keep the job that I'm getting. But let me just take one thing at a time. I'm not going to get ahead of me. I know that I have other things that I will also have to catch up with this job. It's been a little bit difficult lately with my current job to make ends meet, and I expected that. When I got this job, like, what it is. I knew how much it was going to pay and how much it was going to cover. It's not a sustainable job long term, in all honesty. Working in retail doesn't do it for me. Not like, in all honesty, like, I can't even tell myself to. I no longer can tell myself lies. Like, I know that if I need a certain income to be able to afford living, I need to have that income. Telling myself that if I find a different job that pays less or offer less hours, or doesn't pay the income that I need, to me it's difficult to tell myself, like, oh yeah, it's at least it's some money. It could be much worse, or that doesn't work for me anymore. Mostly because I know that being in a position where, and in the past it may have worked for me, because there was one time that I took, I still remember I took a first job in retail in 2013. I was to the point of, like, I need a job. I can continue like this, honestly. And I got the job at Home Depot, my first job, and it paid like $8.75, I think it was at the time. And and I was almost in a lower position than this, and I was convincing myself, you know what, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be alright, unless there's some money. But at the same time, I have to admit it was not enough money to cover all my expenses. Even finding an apartment was difficult, because it's like apartments, they want you to cover first month's rent. Sometimes you have to have renter insurance. So it was a difficult situation. And even now with this job, it's exactly the same thing, but a little bit more difficult because everything has spiked up in prices. And that's the problem that I see. And even though the last job report in the economy, it was a good report. I don't know about how you feel about 303 jobs, but, like, you have to wonder what kind of jobs, how much money are these people getting paid, Because there are some jobs out there that really don't pay enough. They don't do enough for people. You may have to be in have other ways to cover other expenses that you may have as an adult. Either you have to live with more people than you need to be able to lower the cost of living, or or you have to get a higher paying job. And most jobs in the economy, from my perspective, like customer service jobs, retail, they don't pay enough at all, and they only hire part-time people, most of them. Very rarely that they hire somebody full-time. Most of the time they hire people part-time, which means that they also don't cover other expenses like healthcare and all that kind of stuff. So it becomes very difficult for people to control that. And yeah, you can let yourself open and have an open availability to be able to work as many hours as you can. There's no guarantee that they will put you in there to work, And for me as a single person, because I do share my apartment, but I'm single, so I got a bunch of expenses. And as a single person, if things keep getting higher and higher, it becomes more difficult to just take a random job and just make ends meet. And then I may have to get 2, 3, 4 jobs, and then I will have absolutely no life whatsoever. And some jobs they just want you, can you give more availability? They don't. You try to fit 2 jobs, and it becomes difficult. Fitting 3 jobs is it's quite difficult. I don't even know how people do it, honestly, to fit 3 jobs. It's just ridiculous. And then you're just working all the time. Very little time to take care of yourself. Very little time to cook. You may have to start eating outside, and eating outside is expensive too. The way that things are, it's not good for people that earn close to minimum wage, in all honesty. Not in New York, not in California, I'm pretty sure. In California, just increased the minimum wage for some of the workers, and there's already people already complaining as to like, oh no, this is so bad, they haven't done that, But the reality is like everything has spiked up, like specifically rent, that is very difficult to make ends meet. Regardless if you are in a relationship, regardless if you are single, it's just difficult. If you are single, it's 10 times, I don't want to say 10 times, but it's a bit more difficult because you depend on your own income, and you have to come up with some of the expenses with your own money. If I want to rent on my own, I have to come up with $1,200 for a rent, and that is difficult to come by. I don't even have that amount of savings. One job working retail or close to minimum wage will not cut it for me. And even though I have education, like I wanted to have a job that will pay me enough money to be able to afford to rent on my own. And even with a job that pays higher than that, I still might find myself a little bit struggling on that. So it's getting to a point that living is just becoming unaffordable to live in this world. It's sad, it's depressing, and it's like how am I, or how are people going to continue living in this world? We're seeing increases in homelessness. We're seeing increases in people not being able to afford groceries. I don't have credit cards. I don't want to have a credit card. I already went back years ago. I went through a bankrupt because I had too much credit card debt, and I don't want to get myself into debt because of credit cards, because I also have to pay my student loans, and at some point I have to get rid of that expense. And that's without the fact that I also don't have anything saved. I have no savings for when I retire. So I don't even think I will be able to afford to retire in the first place. So there's not going to be retirement for me. Only Social Security, and they are talking about increasing the age for getting Social Security. So it's like, I don't even know how I'm going to survive when I'm old. Because if I cannot work, or if something were to happen to me and I cannot work, I don't know how I'm going to be able to take care of myself. I have no idea how. And I've been thinking maybe I should return to Puerto Rico, because my parents live there. My parents have a house. At least I can use that house when they pass away. Like it's going to be probably my house, and I will have to have a place to live when I'm older. And renting all the time is not going to cut it for me. And I even saw a neighbor in my apartment complex. She moved with her son because it was becoming too expensive for her to pay for the rent. And she's older than me, so it's becoming concerning and difficult to live in this world these days. And we also have to question what kind of jobs are we creating. How are we creating those jobs? We see companies saying that, I cannot find people. But like how are we investing in people? Because if people need education or need training to be able to take some jobs, how are we investing on that? I know that working as a cashier, even for me, is unsustainable at some point. I'm pretty sure that companies will replace either going to be robots or self-checkout. Then it's going to be self-checkout, most likely. So it's one of those things that there's not an easy answer, and it's for me it's concerning because I cannot stay in a low wage job forever. And I have education. I can use my education. If I can use my education to get in engineering or find something that pays more money, that's where I'm going to try to go. Because honestly, I cannot afford living. I really can't. It's becoming more difficult for me to stay up here. And I'm glad that I found a job that is going to pay me more money. But also I'm thinking long term, eventually what I want to do. And it's with everything going up in prices, things that are happening in my personal life with my parents and my sister in Puerto Rico, it's made me rethink my life and where I want to go. Because even me here on my own, I know that here I have expenses on my own. And but then I wonder, what if something happens to me? What if I get injured? What if I get hurt? A few years ago, I'm talking like around 2017, 2018, I was dealing with 2019. I was dealing with one of my discs in my lower back getting degenerated, and I ended up losing a job because of that, and I found myself in a tough spot that I didn't know if I was going to be able to recover. And I was able to recover, but like, holy crap, I thought that was it for me. Everything in my life is done. And physical therapy helped me get in the gym and working out to the point that I have a stronger core than I had before. Has helped me, but like, I thought that was it for me. I thought I was done. I thought that I was not going to be able to make it here, and I got lucky, honestly. And but it was a situation that it made me fear for what could happen in the future. And if in the future, like, I don't know what disease I'm going to experience. I've been trying to keep myself going to a gym, working out. There's diabetes, there's high cholesterol, there are heart problems that are in the genetics in my genetics, because of family members that have those things. My grandfather died at 65 from a heart attack, and so I know that is something that is there. It could happen to me. My grandmother had diabetes, my grandfather had diabetes. They both have cholesterol problems, So how I'm going to deal with those things? And how can I manage that when I barely have not enough money on us? Because retail really doesn't pay enough money. Working retail doesn't pay enough money. I cannot work 2-3 jobs of retail because I find myself working 7 days a week, non-stop, all the time. It's ridiculous. There's no time off, and I personally don't want to see myself in that, which is why I'm looking for other jobs that pay more money, and I'm looking forward to this new job because it's something that I can use my education to, and hopefully things will get better. But my car problems, last year I had so many car problems, and the rent and other stuff, I gotta question whether that's going to be the case or not. Anyway, hopefully it will be. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, take care, everybody. I see you at the next video blog, and have a good day. Bye.